While every other airline is busy downsizing, they're tossing this jumbo on the longest 747 passenger route in the world, just to flex. Korean Air just shocked the aviation world with a Boeing 747 announcement, as they're dragging the Queen of the Skies out of retirement like she never left. Subscribe now, because this is only the beginning of the chaos they're about to cause. Because finally in 2025, they're bringing back the Boeing 747 in a way that has stunned both passengers and the industry. This isn't just a quiet return. It's a head-turning comeback that places the iconic jumbo jet on the world's longest current passenger 747 route. Seoul to Atlanta, nonstop. A marathon flight that pushes the aircraft to its limits and plants Korean Air firmly in the headlines. What makes this move so captivating is that it blends nostalgia with strategy. On one hand, you've got aviation fans who never wanted to see the 747 disappear, the distinctive hump, the double-deck layout, the sense of grandeur when you board. On the other hand, Korean Air isn't doing this just to make enthusiasts happy. This is a calculated business decision. The 747-8i offers about 33% more seating capacity than the Boeing 777-300ER it's replacing on the route. And with summer travel demand hitting record highs, every one of those extra seats matters. They're not just filling planes, they're filling them with more passengers, more cargo, and more profit potential, all while turning the return of this legendary jet into a global talking point. It's also the kind of move that makes the title line, "Korean Air shocks the world," more than just hype. Almost no one is doing this anymore. Only a handful of airlines still operate passenger 747s, and most of those flights are short-term or niche routes. By putting the 747 back on such a long and high-profile route, Korean Air is breaking with the industry's cautious, fuel-saving consensus. It's like bringing a heavyweight champion out of retirement, not for an exhibition match, but to fight in the biggest arena possible. It goes against the grain, and that's exactly why it's making waves. To understand how unexpected this is, you have to rewind a few years to the height of the pandemic. Back then, airlines were grounded, borders were closed, and international travel collapsed. The giants of the skies, the Airbus A380 and the Boeing 747, were some of the first to be parked. Four-engine jets burn a lot of fuel, and without full passenger loads, they became money-losing machines almost overnight. Airlines like Air France, Qantas, and British Airways moved quickly to retire them permanently, deciding there was no way they'd make sense in a post-COVID world. Even airlines that loved their jumbos, like Lufthansa and Qantas, had them mothballed with no guarantee they'd ever return. And yet, as travel demand came roaring back faster than expected, the story began to change. Passenger numbers surged, long-haul routes filled up, and the very aircraft that had been declared too big suddenly made sense again, at least on certain high-traffic routes. Emirates dusted off its massive A380 fleet and put them back on flagship routes to London, Sydney, and New York. Singapore Airlines reintroduced its A380s in late 2021 for key destinations. Qantas brought theirs back for the busy Australia-US and Australia-Europe corridors. Even Lufthansa, which had sworn off the A380 for good, reversed course in 2023 and returned several to service. The same shift began to happen for the Boeing 747, particularly in cargo operations, but also in passenger service for a few specific airlines. This is the backdrop for Korean Air's decision, and it's what makes it so fascinating. They're not just following the revival trend, they're pushing it further. Other airlines brought these giants back cautiously, often for seasonal surges or to cover fleet shortages. Korean Air is going for something bolder, using the 747-8i to reclaim the record for the longest passenger route flown by a 747, something that instantly resonates with both aviation enthusiasts and frequent flyers. It's not just about nostalgia, it's about making a statement that Korean Air can still do things bigger, bolder, and in a way that turns heads in an industry that usually plays it safe. On April 25th, 2025, Korean Air will pull off a move that has aviation enthusiasts buzzing and industry analysts double-checking their spreadsheets. The airline is reinstating its Boeing 747-8i on the Seoul-Incheon to Atlanta route, a non-stop trans-Pacific marathon replacing the Boeing 777-300ER that currently holds the slot. This isn't just another fleet shuffle buried in an airline press release. This is a deliberate, high-visibility shift. The 747-8I's return here instantly seized bragging rights as the world's longest Boeing 747 passenger flight, covering roughly 7,172 miles, 11,542 kilometers, in a single hop, according to Business Insider and Aerotime. No other active 747 route and passenger service comes close to that distance, giving Korean Air a headline-grabbing superlative that few can match. The timing is just as strategic as the route itself. Late April marks the lead-in to the busiest months for trans-Pacific travel, when student traffic, summer vacations, and business conferences all converge. Launching this change on April 25th allows Korean Air to maximize media buzz and pre-summer bookings. And there's substance behind the spectacle. The Boeing 747-8 EVFOR-I Korean Air is deploying here offers 368 total seats, which is a 33% jump in capacity over the 777-300ER it's replacing on the route, as confirmed by Aerotime and Yahoo. This leap isn't evenly distributed across the cabin. The layout has been fine-tuned to match demand patterns. There are 6 first-class suites, 48 business class seats, and 314 economy seats, according to Aerotime. That shift increases the proportion of economy class from 82% to 87% of the cabin, an intentional rebalancing to accommodate the surging middle market segment on Korea-US routes. It's a design decision rooted in market data. The ICN-A TL corridor isn't just a prestige route, it's a heavy demand pipeline for VFR, visiting friends and relatives traffic, student travel, and price-sensitive leisure segments, alongside a healthy flow of premium passengers connecting through hubs. By expanding economy seating while preserving competitive premium capacity, Korean Air ensures it can capitalize on both ends of the fare spectrum. It's also a nod to the fact that Atlanta, home to Delta Airlines' headquarters, isn't just a destination, it's a massive connection gateway. This is where the strategic synergy kicks in. As part of the SkyTeam joint venture, Korean Air's arrival in Atlanta feeds directly into Delta's over 200 domestic destinations, creating seamless one-ticket, one-stop connectivity across the U.S., as noted in Travel and Tour World. The schedule is built for flexibility, but aims to dominate during peak season. Initially, from April 25th, the route will operate twice weekly. From May 1st to August 31st, 2025, it ramps up to daily service, matching the summer demand curve exactly, according to Aerotime and Business Insider. Come September, the 747-8I will hand the route back to the 777-300ER, a sign that this is a high-impact seasonal deployment rather than a permanent reassignment. That seasonal strategy ensures Korean Air maximizes yield when demand is highest, while minimizing off-peak inefficiencies that have historically plagued jumbo operations. What makes this move stand out even more is how far it runs against prevailing industry trends. In 2025, only 4 airlines worldwide still operate passenger Boeing 747s: Korean Air, Lufthansa, Air China, and Russia, according to Livy and Let's Fly and Simple Flying. The operational footprint for the type has shrunk dramatically. Business Insider points out that global scheduled jumbo flights fell from 76,000 in 2019 to just 18,600 in 2025, a staggering 75% decline in 6 years. The reasons are clear. Twin-engine aircraft like the Boeing 787 and Airbus A350 offer similar range with lower fuel, burn and maintenance costs, making them the default choice for long-haul expansion. From July 25th to October 24th, 2025, Korean Air is set to put the Boeing 747-8 Al-Azam back on one of the most prestigious stages in global aviation London Heathrow Airport. According to Simple Flying, this seasonal deployment will replace the Boeing 7730ER that typically handles the Seoul Heathrow service, instantly turning an already high-demand route into an event for aviation enthusiasts. Heathrow hasn't seen regular passenger 747 service from Korean Air in recent years, making this reappearance both a capacity boost and a statement piece. Aerotime confirms that the substitution will cover the height of the European summer travel season, a window when load factors spike, premium cabin demand surges, and leisure traffic floods into London. For Korean Air, operating the Dash 8EI on this route isn't just about nostalgia. It's a calculated decision to maximize yield on one of the airline's most visible long-haul pairings. The return to Heathrow isn't the only high-profile surprise for 2025. In the fall season, Korean Air will also deploy the 747-8I on the Seoul-Frankfurt route, as reported by Travel and Tour World. While the carrier hasn't framed this as a permanent fixture, the timing aligns perfectly with Oktoberfest, Germany's world-famous beer festival, which runs from mid-September to early October. That event alone draws millions of visitors, and for a hub like Frankfurt, passenger volumes can spike dramatically in both premium and economy cabins. Positioning the 747-8I on this corridor allows Korean Air to scoop up seasonal demand while giving the aircraft another headline-worthy run in a major European market. These deployments are rare and deliberately time-bound, creating a sense of exclusivity that turns each flight into a niche product for both travelers and aviation spotters. Yet, this isn't purely sentimental. Simple Flying and Yahoo both note that the 747-8I was originally slated for retirement by 2026. The plan was to transition to more fuel-efficient twin-engine aircraft like the Airbus A350, Boeing 787 Dreamliner, and Boeing 777-9. But Aplenier reports that significant delivery delays from both Airbus and Boeing have forced Korean Air to postpone the phase-out. Those delays have made the Dash 8I essential, not just as a workhorse for peak season capacity, but as a bridge aircraft to fill gaps while the fleet modernizes. Without it, certain high-demand routes would require either schedule cuts or multiple smaller aircraft, both of which come with operational drawbacks. This is where the shock in the headline "Korean Air shocks the world" finds its full meaning. In 2025, the global trend is clear. Phase out large, four-engine aircraft in favor of smaller, more efficient twins. Most carriers have either retired their passenger 747s entirely or confined them to niche markets. Korean Air is doing the opposite, placing the Dash 8I on some of the world's most competitive and visible routes during high-demand windows. According to Simple Flying, this isn't about quietly squeezing a few more years out of an aging asset. It's about showcasing the aircraft's strengths in situations where it can deliver both operational and branding payoffs.